This one going out to Fang, Christine Fang, and Eric Swalwell. Swalwell always got something to say about the damn president. Check up, clown. Hold up, pump the brakes. Somebody get these no pussy getting politicians a copy of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Make sure you send that to Eric Swalwell out there in Cali, the Bay Area, and a couple of them other politicians, and we gonna get into it like this. Clowns. Y'all act as if y'all don't know, so I'm explaining it to you. There's a book that comes out of the East called The Art of War by Sun Tzu, which states that the Asians will use women to infiltrate their enemies. All right, first off, let me introduce you to Eric Swalwell, who looked like he probably a chromosome or two away from being I ain't gonna disrespect nobody, but this cat here, he been a thorn in the side of the president for past 4 years with his Russia collusion and this and that.
Everybody stand by. I want to bring in a key member of the House Intelligence Committee right now, Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California. He just emerged from that all-day closed-door hearing with Michael Cohen. Congressman, thanks for joining us. Did you learn anything new from Michael Cohen's testimony today?
Oh boy, Wolf, that would be an understatement. We learned a lot of new things. I can't go into them. We're still interviewing him. He's coming back next week. But there's very valuable new leads that we learned, and he's been asked to bring back some documents to corroborate what he's told us. But we did find him to be cooperative and answered every question we asked.
Oh, how interesting. He answered every question y'all asked, huh? Well, I got a question for you, Mr. BlueBalls-Swal. Did you spank the Chinese spy, Fang, Christine Fang? You was spanking that? Or you can't answer that because it's classified? Oh, okay.
Tell us why you want to bring Felix Sater, this mysterious individual who was involved with Michael Cohen in the planning of a Trump Tower in Moscow. Why do you want to bring him before your committee?
Felix Sater is a Russian-American who has worked with Donald Trump in the past, has worked to bring a Trump Tower to New York, and is the one who pitched Michael Cohen on a Trump Tower in Moscow. This individual worked on the 26th floor of Trump Tower, the same floor Donald Trump was on. He had a Trump Organization business card, and so he was very close to Donald Trump and very involved in the Trump Tower Moscow deals.
Is that so, Mr. BlueBalls-Swal? Because Fang was very close to you. Worked with you with your campaign, raising money for you. She was a Chinese spy from 2011 to 2015 before she left from America and went back to, well, who knows where, probably China. But not only was she working for you, she had other people, other young ladies that was posted up in your office that was working with you. Oh.
There will be public benefit to understand why a presidential candidate was seeking to put a tower in Moscow at the same time that we're starting to learn about Russia's attacks on our democracy. And I think that will be very illuminating.
You know what I find interesting, Mr. BlueBalls-Swal, is that you were a presidential candidate and you were trying to put your tower into a Chinese spy named Fang at the same time we was learning about how China was meddling in our elections. Ain't that how that go?
You have a candidate for president of the United States, somebody who is also a business person, and he's mixing the two. He's doing business in Moscow throughout the presidential campaign, beyond the Iowa caucus, the New Hampshire primary, and not just with the British or Mexico. He's doing it with an adversary, and an adversary that we would later learn in the campaign was working against our interests and interfering in our elections. So it's important that the American people understand what Donald Trump's role was in that Trump Tower project.
Wow, that's very rich because you were mixing the two and doing it with the Chinese spy named Christine Fang, and China is our adversary. As a matter of fact, they practically own the clown that you want to be the president right now, Joe Biden. Ain't that how that go?
First, Michael Cohen said he has no direct evidence of collusion, but he has suspicions of collusion. And Wolf, as you know, in the law, Direct evidence and circumstantial evidence are treated the same.
You clowns have short memories. You forget everything that you say because this is recordings and videos what you talking on. So circumstantial evidence and direct evidence are one and the same. Okay, well you was messing with a Chinese spy for 4 years. You say you left her alone in 2015 and she gone. You had nothing to do with her. Well, I don't believe that.
I'm ready to solve these problems. I'm running for president of the United States. It's official. Now it's official. Boy, did it feel good to say that. Now it's official. Yeah. Congratulations. Thank you. You can either be the Attorney General of the United States or you can be the President's lawyer. You can't be both. And Attorney General Barr has shown in the last few months that he's more interested in protecting Donald Trump and not protecting America's interests. First, he never should have been confirmed.
I might have to agree with you on that one, BlueBalls-Swal. He never should have been confirmed, the damn swamp creature.
He sent a letter soliciting for this job saying that no president could obstruct justice, and that's clearly not the case. Second, once he was confirmed, he should have recused himself because of his prior views about the Mueller investigation. Third, it was inappropriate to accuse the intelligence community of spying.
Well, those accusations turned out to be very true. I mean, even though nobody's been in trouble, you did get one indictment out of one of the FBI clowns. So that was true, Swalwell.
When they were using legally authorized surveillance methods on the Trump campaign.
Now, that's absolutely false, Swalwell. You're supposed to be on the House Intelligence Committee, and you that goddamn stupid.
And when you read the Mueller report, they had every reason in the world to look at what the Trump campaign was doing. And fourth, he completely mischaracterized the Mueller report. I've lost faith in him. I think the American people have lost confidence that he can be our Attorney General. He should resign.
As an American citizen, I never had faith in you. And I think you should resign because you were dealing with a Chinese spy named Fang.
I was 6 years old when a presidential candidate came to the California Democratic Convention and said, "It's time to pass the torch to a new generation of Americans." That candidate was then Senator Joe Biden. Joe Biden was right when he said it was time to pass the torch to a new generation of Americans 32 years ago. He's still right today. If we're going to solve the issues of automation, pass the torch. If we're going to solve the issues of climate chaos, pass the torch. If we're going to solve the issue of student loan debt, pass the torch. If we're going to end gun violence for families who are fearful of sending their kids to school, pass the torch.
Vice President, would you like to sing a torch song?
I would. I'm still holding on to that torch. Today ends our presidential campaign. We have an opportunity today to condemn or condone. Birtherism is racist.
I know this clown not talking about that fake ass birth certificate that Barack Hussein Obama produced. Yeah, go ask Sheriff Arpaio about that one.
Saying a Mexican judge can't be fair because of his heritage is racist.
Oh, so it ain't had nothing to do with the judge being biased towards people of his same heritage previously, huh?
Saying immigrants from Mexico are rapists is racist.
So, out of all the illegals that's pouring in from the southern border, you mean to tell me it wasn't no rapists? Well, damn.
Saying there were good people on both sides in Charlottesville is racist.
There were people on both sides that were good. I mean, if you go on with the fact that it was people that wanted to keep the statues up, I'm sure some of them people were good, and there were people that wanted to take the statues down. I'm sure some of them people were good. Now, I guess you on that if you tell a lie enough times, motherfucker will believe it. Man, stop that, man.
Calling African countries shithole countries is racist.
Now, why you have to pinpoint African countries? Because my man say it's a lot of shithole countries. He didn't just say African countries, you damn racist.
And telling 4 members of this body to go home is racist.
He didn't tell them other three hoes to go home. He was talking to the one Somali bitch who got so much to say, and I agree with him. If she talking all that shit, well, why don't you take your skills back to Somalia and improve that shit and come back here and tell us how you did it? That's what he said, clown.
How much of this interference campaign is social media driven, and is there more to it than just that?
I wish I could say more about that, Chuck. But what I will say, what's interesting about what you just played with Senator Sanders, and all due respect, he's running a hell of a campaign. He's racking up delegates right now.
How nice of you, BlueBalls-Swal. Give Bernie Sanders some head before you insult him.
But think about what's happening. If Donald Trump perceives that Senator Sanders is his best general election opponent, and the Russians, according to what Sanders just said, are attempting to help Senator Sanders, that means that the president and the Russians are aligned in who they want the president's opponent to be upcoming in the fall.
Nigga, what? You done twisted yourself into a pretzel. Shut the hell up, man. You don't even understand what the hell you just said.
And so there's a lot of questions for the president as to what does he know about the Russians' intent, whether it's from our own intelligence officials or from the Russians about what they're trying to do to get him a general election opponent that he believes would be best served for a victory for him.
Now that, my friend, is what we call T.D.S, Trump derangement syndrome on steroids. And he'd love to take his ass to these little fuddy-duddy TV shows, TMZ. They all circle jerking, busting in each other's face.
So let's start with your proposal to create a presidential crime commission. Why don't you explain what that is and what the goal is, especially with President Trump?
The idea is that, we're going to have a reckoning over what the president and his enablers have done to our country. And I want it to be independent. I want it to be outside of Congress. But I do believe that we need to understand just, what crimes were committed and, how do we, have a truth and reconciliation process in this country so that no president, no senior leader, no cabinet official is able to get away again with what we think Donald Trump has gotten away with.
Well, let's start the Truth and Conciliation program with you, Mr. Swalwell, and let's bring up the Chinese spy you was dealing with, Fang, Christine Fang, who you was fucking. Let's start there.
What exactly is the crime? Like, what crime would it be that he's committed at this point? And I feel like if he's just going to go away, if you now go after him for this crime, that's just going to extend the amount of time that we're talking about him, and that he is also going to have an opportunity to have a platform to talk about his view of the election.
My proposal is to actually look at what he's done during the 4 years, whether it's with, the emoluments clause, the pressure he's put on the Southern District of New York, using Bill Barr, sabotaging the mail, especially as it relates to mail-in ballots. But as it relates to transition, yes.
Man, what in the hell is this clown talking about? Right, get this clown a drug test, man. Shut the hell up, man.
He's jeopardizing our national security every day that Joe Biden is not able to put together a national security team, receive a briefing, or have his potential nominees.
Swalwell, you reaching for straws, man. You need to shut the hell up, because Joe Biden don't need to get shit. Neither one of y'all need to get shit with y'all Chinese asses. Get on the flight and fly both of y'all asses back to China.
Vetted. I mean, that's going to make us less safe. But I think the worst thing we can do is to make Donald Trump more significant than he really is right now. He's locked up. We haven't heard from him. We haven't seen him. He needs to, come to terms with this and be an adult. But Joe Biden's going to be the president, and the American people should have confidence that that's going to be the case.
No, you Chinese fraud. If that's going to be the case, the American people are going to tear this bitch up. You damn red Chinese sons of bitches.
Congressman Eric Swalwell represents California, and he joins us tonight. Congressman, what's the penalty for treason?
Tucker, good evening. The penalty that we are all paying right now for the president's treason is we are losing our allies. We see a wrecking ball threatening our freedoms here at home. And by the president's own definition of treason, Tucker, let's just use that.
What's your definition of treason? I don't know treason. So treason is punishable by death. It's an actual crime, and I think you're an attorney. You would know that. So when you tell your constituents that the President of the United States has committed a death penalty offense, Are you concerned that maybe, just possibly, you're torquing up the rhetoric past the point of reasonable conversation?
You know, I'm saying that the president, by his own definition,
don't blame the president. Don't blame him.
He has a lot to be
It's not
blamed
your
for,
job
You
to
should
take the
blame
president's
president.
definitions.
You
You're
should
elected.
blame the
Hold on,
president.
slow down. I want to know what you think.
Why
If I
don't you
just
blame
interviewed
him?
Trump, if I want to know what
I
he
saw
thinks,
the
I'll ask
interview.
him. I want to know what you think. You're accusing the president of a capital offense. Why wouldn't it be more useful for the rest of us to explain specifically the policies that you disagree with, and we could have a debate on them? If you think the United States has an obligation to defend NATO members, tell us why. Instead, he's a treasonous Nazi. You're a member of Congress. You're not supposed to talk like a child or make reckless accusations or say things you don't understand or encourage people to commit violence. No, I'm just shocked that you're talking like this. I mean,
It's
you don't like the president because you think he's irresponsible.
Do you want it to be led by somebody who is siding with the Russians over the United States?
Settle down, son. I'm older than you are. Don't call into question my love of the country. Please, come on now.
Tucker, please.
Let's have a conversation.
Private conversation with a dictator. Agree to turn over a U.S. ambassador, siding with them over our own intelligence.
Just stop for 1 second.
Yeah.
You think it is treasonous for an American president to meet privately with the head of state who we don't get along with? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's a betrayal of the United States to side with Russia over our own intelligence community, to agree to turn over a U.S. ambassador to Russia who is innocent, knowing what the fate of that
let me ask you this: should the president meet with the leader of China? Obviously, a dictatorship kills its political enemies, practices censorship. Actually, has a great deal of censorship it inflicts on American companies. Should he meet with the Chinese premier, or would that be treason as well?
If we're going to get something out of it, we didn't get anything out of it.
Hold on. So you're saying it is okay because a lot of your constituents get money from China, as we know. I mean, you represent the Bay Area. China pumps a lot of money into.
Don't insult the Bay Area.
I'm not insulting the Bay Area. I'm from the Bay Area. I'm noting a fact, which is China makes a lot of your constituents rich. China's a more repressive country than Russia. Russia doesn't censor the internet the way that China does. I mean, let's just be real. You don't have any problem with that at all, do you? All the freedom stuff doesn't mean squat to you, does it?
No.